The podcast you are about to listen to is an account of the movies which befell a group of horror fans, in particular, Tara Garwood and her intrepid friend, Matt Lolich. Had they lived very, very long lives, they could not have expected, although they would have wished, to see as much of the mad and macabre as we are to see in those movies. For them, an idyllic summer movie became a nightmare, and they loved it. The movies that they watched were to lead to the creation of one of the most terrifying podcasts in the annals of American history. The Scary Movie Project.
Hey everybody, this is the Scary Movie Project, the podcast where we talk about scary movies. I'm Tara.
Hey, and I'm Matt, and with us today, we have a very special guest, actor, director, producer, Brianne Davis. You have seen her in Jarhead, you've seen her in Lucifer, True Blood, CSI, Desperate Housewives, Entourage, Veronica Mars, list goes on and on. She's done a million things. She's amazing. And she's in the horror thriller Prom Night that we're going to talk about today as well. So, Brianne, thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to having a wonderful program with you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, we will have fun. So let me dive right in. Prom Night is about a beautiful senior who plans the perfect prom only to have it ruined by some freak stalking one of the losers she goes to school with. At least that's how I imagine Brianne's character, Chrissy Lynn, would describe it.
Totally. They're all losers.
Yeah.
They're all losers.
I love when they have the fire alarm going off and everybody has to leave and she's like, no, give me the envelope and just tear it. I didn't win. What?
No.
Like, oh my God, it's the meanest character.
Chrissy Lynn is definitely the best character in this movie. She's so much fun.
She was so much fun to play. I mean, my favorite line was if he was any stupider, I'd have to water him.
Oh, I made note of that one.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That was good.
I actually wondered, was that an ad lib or was that in the script?
No.
Because it was so
it's great.
Just moment, like that perfect moment.
Yeah, with Kellen Lutz too, who I adore, who's like the nicest person in the world, and to be like mean to him and fight with him was so much fun. But he seriously is the sweetest guy, and I had to be like, nah, to him. But no, the entire prom night, there was no ad lib. Screen Gems was pretty, so you have to stick to this script, and the director, it was like, you have to stick to the script.
Well, that was objectively the best line in the movie.
No, that was awesome. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I think everyone agreed with that one. Yeah, she's not she wasn't a very nice character. No.
Yeah, no, she's not the most humble person to play.
But then the thing about it is you want everyone, like the audience wants to hate her, but she never gets shown that she gets killed. So I assume her character, she just kind of disappears. We never find out what happens to her though, right?
No, she doesn't get killed. No way. No, she would never get killed in that outfit she was wearing.
No I definitely imagine her going on and living a fabulous life and being a jet setter and stuff.
Well, definitely are like an Instagram blogger.
Influencer.
Yeah, like she loves a filter, like put a filter on her,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or her life
little,
goes
heart ones that they put on your cheek now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Or her life goes
obnoxious people. You know what I mean?
Sparkles.
Like the person you'd be like,
yeah, definitely.
Or her life goes tragically wrong and it just ends up completely backwards. But either way.
I just don't feel like that for her. I feel like she's one of those people that has everything handed to her and she's okay with it, and she wears it. She doesn't try to act like she's a good person. She's just not a good person.
No, she doesn't care.
She just goes with it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like some people we know now. Okay, anyways. So tell us about working on this film. What were some highlights for you? Were there any special moments you want to share?
Well, it was such a fun shoot because it was a big group of us. It was a big cast, and working with Sony Screen Gems they treat us so well. Like lunch was amazing. Everything was amazing. Like craft service. For an actor, craft service is the most important.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
Oh,
Yes, it's the best.
Yeah, because you go when you don't know when you're gonna like get another job, so you like start taking stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk about HBO crafty later too, because
I don't know. Sony's is pretty good. And another,
Really?
which, yeah, NCIS, the LA one with LL Cool J, I was on their craft service and catering is like top notch. So anyways, this movie was great. I mean, Jonathan Check and I have worked together 4 times. So I feel like we're like, so it was nice having him on. It was the first one we worked together. Jana Kramer played one of my sidekicks who, you know, we have a project together. So I forged a lot of great relationships from that movie. But it also, and I'll give you the inside scoop.
All right.
The 2 groups did not hang. Like my group and, you know, Brittany Snow's group, we did not hang. It was like,
so
not
you
on
guys were
purpose.
like method acting there.
I guess so. I'm not a method actor, but it definitely felt like that at times where we kind of, even though our chairs were, it kind of like was separate. It was really funny. Maybe they did it on purpose. I don't know.
Huh.
So like we weren't invited to any of their get-togethers.
I was in a play once where the woman who I in Annie when I was a little kid, and the woman who played Miss Hannigan was mean to us because she wanted us to be scared of her.
Oh yeah.
And then at the very end of like the run, she was like suddenly really nice and was like, "I love you guys. I'm gonna miss you so much. You know, I was only mean to you for the acting, right?"
Well, I'm not like that. Even though I play mean characters, I'm not mean off camera. Like I just go in and out of it.
Yeah.
So that was a little crazy to me, but we shot long hours. They were like 16-hour days through the night. My wardrobe was amazing, and it was nice because I didn't have to do any of the blood scenes, because working with blood is never a good time, especially if you have blonde hair. It stains your hair.
Oh gosh, right.
So I had, you know, that big piece, and I'm just so glad I didn't have to get it bloody. So I was just happy about that.
Good.
Oh man. So okay, so I do have to ask about, because you're talking about the people you worked with.
Yeah.
Did you at least get to meet and work a little bit with Idris Elba? Because, oh my God.
Oh my God, he's such a beautiful man.
He's so beautiful. And I just want so much for him to be lovely.
He is so lovely. There you go. He is
good.
So kind, and his accent, he would go into American accent on camera. But during the prom scene where we were all like running out in the long stairs, he was there, and he was just the kindest, sweetest person. And he's tall and handsome. And I was like, I'm obsessed with him. And my husband, of course, we were together. He was like, "Can you stop talking about him?" I was like, "No, sorry."
Yeah. My husband's just like, yeah. I mean,
you can't even compete with that.
Can't, yeah. He's like, I can't ding ya on that one. That's real.
So one of my favorite shows of all time is Friday Night Lights, and so you got to work with Jason Street. What's the actor? Scott Porter, right? Was that it?
Scott Porter, yeah.
Right.
I just saw him.
Show. Love that show.
Yeah, he's really good friends with one of my co-stars from Six. They're like best friends. And I ran into him before the pandemic at an audition, and we were talking about Prom Night. He's a really nice guy too. Honestly, everybody was a really cool person, which that doesn't happen a lot. Sure. I'm not gonna lie.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice when you get that like magic mix of like just all wonderful people.
Right. Yeah, it was just really chill. It was fun. We got along, but like I said, we didn't hang out. And I do have to say, I was the oldest of like the high school kids. So I always felt like I was like, they would talk about things that I didn't really like to. And I was like, I'm so old. Why am I playing a high school person? I'm so old.
Did you kind of end up being like everybody's big sister?
No, because nobody knows how old I am. So I kept it hidden, but it was like this underneath thing where I was like, they're talking about something I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
That's
right?
Great. So let's see. You were also in, I know, Among Friends, directed by Scream Queen Danielle Harris, and I know Matt is excited to ask you about that.
So I haven't seen it, but she's like my idol. She's my scream queen idol. She always has been. I love everything she does. She's the best.
Aw.
So yeah, how is she to work with like directing? Because I mean, she's just known as, the girl with blood in all the movies. But yeah, she actually made a piece. So I haven't seen the film. So yeah,
You haven't? It's actually really good.
I haven't seen it.
Danielle's amazing. Her and I are good friends, and I just did her YouTube show, so that's coming out soon. But
Awesome.
she's a great director. I mean, once you grow up in the business, you kind of know how to give direction and
Sure.
different directions to
Yeah.
different actors. And we shot that movie in such a short amount of time in such a tight corridor, and there was so many of us. When you watch it, we were all stuck around this table for a very long time. She did great, like directing each different personality, because every actor has a different how they take in notes and stuff. So she's wonderful to work with. And there's this one moment, if you watch the movie, where my character breaks down. She has this like huge emotional moment, and Danielle, all her direction was, she's like, just imagine if you were talking about me. And I just was like, like you'll have to watch it. Yeah, but that was her note to me in that moment.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I gotta check it out because her stuff is awesome. Yep.
Yeah, she's a cool chick. She's just like really chill and cool. You would like her. She's a nice
So,
girl.
do you have the go ahead to talk about the web series at all? To tell us about what's coming up
With hers?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I don't want to get in trouble.
So
but
we'll just know there's
like,
one
"Graham, what are you
coming
doing?"
from her.
Yeah.
Yes, we shot together, and
Awesome.
I know she's so busy. Yeah, you'll see it soon.
Okay, very
Yay.
cool. Awesome.
Inside industry news, you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what you get here.
Who are our, who are this? Jamie Lee Curtis was, well, maybe her mother may have been the original Scream Queen from Psycho, and then Jamie Lee Curtis, and then for me, like for my generation, Danielle Harris is where it's at. She is the Scream Queen for me, for sure.
She definitely is. She loves that hat. She loves her fans, and she she loves working on them. I mean, she does so many movies. I can't even tell you which ones.
No, she's done a lot of stuff. That's awesome.
So, okay, I also wanted to ask you, since it's also in the horror realm, even though it's not a movie, about True Blood, because you played the Merlot's waitress Belinda, who I remember because I'm a big fan of True Blood.
She was obnoxious.
Oh my gosh!
Right, so you know what? I'm going to raise my hand. I'm going to be the one, since I feel like Tara sometimes takes this role.
No!
I have to be the one now that says that I've never seen it. I know. I've never seen it. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible person, and I'm just going to let
I'm gonna
let you guys discuss this while I just sit and listen. At this point.
Such a good show. So I need like everything about True Blood.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Okay, well, first of all, can you tell us about your character Belinda, just so our listeners like know who to look out for the next time they're watching it?
Yeah, I was in the last 3 seasons. She's very Southern, and I talk like this and very redneck. And my scenes are with Anna and crap, I can't find the other actors right now. My head just went out, but I love working on it, and I just mostly work with them and in the restaurant, and they brought me back a bunch of times, which I didn't know that was going to happen. And it was so nice to be on the finale where Steven directed it, and I got like a crazy death scene, which I'm not going to talk about, but it was such a fun, again, it's like another huge cast, and we would be shooting multiple episodes at one time. So,
that's so interesting. I've never worked on anything like that where you're shooting. I mean, like obviously movies you shoot out of order, but like shooting more than one episode at a time is so strange.
Yeah, they were shooting a lot of episodes, and that's for me has never happened. So you'd go in and like, I'm shooting this episode and then a scene from this episode. It was just so weird to shoot like that, but I guess they had to because they were trying to like get it done
they
before.
Got a time constraint.
Done,
maybe. They just have to do it right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying Sony's Crafty was better than HBO's though?
Yeah. I mean, as I remember, because it was such a big budget movie, you know?
Right.
So when you do those big budget movies, they have a big budget. So
Yeah.
Crafty is amazing. But
Yeah.
I will say majority of horror movies, your Crafty is not great. It's just
No.
not great.
Especially not the indie ones. You're like pizza every day.
You get
all
like
day.
a pretzel and one
Yeah.
cup of coffee.
Yeah, I did a short horror film, and my parents actually catered for us.
Oh, I
So
love
they
that.
actually made meals and stuff. It was only like a long 3-day weekend, but they made meals for us and everything. And I was like, I'm not just giving everybody pizza. That was like my big thing. I was like, these people are doing this like really, 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 really cheap. Okay, free. And
Free, mostly free,
like,
mostly
mostly free.
Free.
Mostly free. And I am
We-
not giving them pizza for 3 days straight. So
We're talking.
No, go ahead.
we're-
We've been talking.
we're talking about the lake. Is that right?
yeah, the lake. Mhm.
Yes, working for free. Anyway,
Yes.
But
Yes.
yes,
Matt worked on that for
we
free.
all had a really good time, so it's okay.
But that's the thing. That's the best thing about the indie horror world is that everybody's coming together.
Yeah.
We're not doing it
Common
to pay
goal.
Yeah, and you're not doing it to
collaboration.
pay your bills. But I have to say, if you feed your crew well, they will work their butts off. And that for
Absolutely.
me, our productions, we fed well. Like that's
Yes.
important. I rather put more money in the food and craft
Mhm,
service than any other department.
Yeah. So any aspiring filmmakers out there in our 5 listeners, any aspiring filmmakers, as I always say that.
Does. I think
I'm
I
like,
have
don't worry, we
4.
have more than 5 listeners.
No, I even
Don't
say on
worry.
my podcast, I'm like, if I help one person, that's like doing my job. You
Right.
know?
I'm like, so our 5 listeners, anyone who is a filmmaker or aspiring filmmaker, know that like
Feed your people.
talent and your crew, the good food goes a long way.
A long way. And always focus on sound. Sound is so important.
yes.
That is
People
where
will
you spend the
tolerate-
money.
People will tolerate bad video, but they won't tolerate bad audio. That's
No,
right.
they will
No.
not listen if the audio is bad. Not
Yeah.
at
That's right.
all.
It's like a radio station. You flip to a radio station, what did I say, 2 to 3 seconds of dead air, and you're changing the station. So,
Mhm.
yeah. That's,
Or a commercial. Ugh,
Yeah.
I can't take commercials anymore. Now that
I
I don't
hate
watch regular
commercials.
TV, I can't take it.
that's a problem with our society at this point is we can't handle commercials. But that's a topic for another day. I think.
Makes it hard to sell things, but what are
That's
you gonna
true.
do? So we're talking about making movies.
Mhm.
You made Psychophonia or Dead Signal.
Deadly Signal. Yeah. They
Deadly
changed the
Signal.
title.
Yeah, I didn't know. So is that an alternate title, or is that what was?
You know, the buyer wanted to change the title, so they changed
Yeah.
it. And once you sell it, you just don't have any rights at all.
So it was
Yeah,
Deadly Signal.
I'd
first.
never heard the Deadly Signal title actually.
No, it's Psychophonia first,
yeah.
and then
And
they
then
switched it to Deadly Signal.
Well,
yeah.
you know what? On Amazon, it comes up as Psychophonia.
Yay!
Yeah,
That makes me so happy.
when I watch it
Yeah.
on demand. That's what it came. Yeah, I never
Yeah.
saw a Deadly
I
Signal.
love that.
Yeah, it's Psychophonia again. So
Mhm.
so you won in the end.
Yeah, you win.
I don't know
is-
if I won anything, but thanks.
Well, that is a much more interesting name, I think.
yeah.
It kind of draws you in more.
Yeah, I thought so too. And our original poster that we had is so beautiful. We got this artist from another country, and
Yeah,
it's
the
so
I think
beautiful.
that poster's up there too. It's so cool.
The one with the guy and the body, and oh my god,
So
yeah,
then
that's
did
our
that-
original poster.
So then, did that artist do the paintings that are in the movie?
yeah,
Yeah.
she sent a bunch
Those
of her
are so
artwork.
good.
Yeah, they're very
Yeah,
good.
and
And
Vedette
she's
Leem.
from where again?
I don't remember. I'll have
Oh.
to tell you guys, but I can't remember it. I should have looked it up, but yeah, she's a
It's good.
beautiful artist. I can give you the information.
Her work is amazing. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's good. Very good.
It's
Yeah.
really lovely. I remember actually wondering about that. Like as we were looking at it, I was like, who did that art?
Yeah,
Mm.
I'll give you the
Right.
info so you can put it in your
Yeah.
like description or something
was
if
really
people
good.
want to look it
Yeah,
up.
that would be great. We can
Yeah.
we can definitely do that. So tell us about making that because you were the director.
Right.
Now, I saw someone else wrote it, but was it your idea? Did you create the idea or how did that all come about?
Well, actually, here's the funny story. Jennifer Blanc Bean, I did 2 movies with her and we produced 2 movies and I directed The Night Visitor 2. It's a found footage movie. It's a horror sci-fi found footage movie before Psychophonia. And I love directing. It was like all my acting, all my OCD, all my type A goes in. And I just loved it. Was like every cell in my body was on fire directing. So what happened was Psychophonia already had a female director attached, and a couple weeks before production started, she fell out, and
Wow.
Oh.
I just got done shooting, and Jen reached out to me and said, "Hey, listen, are you available to direct? It's in a couple of weeks. Can you jump aboard?" And at that time, I wasn't doing anything else, and I said, "You know what?
I'm
If my
in.
husband, yeah, if my husband and I can produce it, then I'll come and do it." And I got to cast Vedette. She's one of my really good friends.
She was very good.
She's an amazing actress. She's on FBI right now, and she just did that Nicole Kidman show on HBO. I can't remember. It's like it just came out.
the new
with
one, The
Hugh
Undoing.
Grant. Yeah,
The
she's
Undoing.
in that too.
That
She's
was. Wait, who is she in that? Because I saw that. That was.
She's
really
like one of the friends, like the rich friends. I haven't watched it,
Oh,
so
I'll
I
have to
haven't
go
had a
back and look for
chance.
her.
Yeah. So
That
she's
was
an
so good.
amazing actress, and I'm so glad she's doing well. And I got to cast Kelly Stewart, that Hot Tub Time Machine, and Adam Rose, who's like all TikTok god right now. And
Well, and it was Adam Rose, wasn't it? Who was in he was
Veronica
Max,
Mars.
Veronica
Yeah.
which
So-
is like another one. This is like I have watched Veronica Mars
forever.
probably I've watched it probably like 6 times now. The whole thing over and over. Like I
Wow.
love that show.
That's more than even
Yeah.
I watched series. Holy
Yeah.
cow, that's impressive.
No,
Yeah,
it's
he's
probably my
amazing.
favorite show ever.
Wow.
Well, just so you know, Kristen Bell is so sweet too. She was like such a
She's
kind individual.
Amazing.
Yeah. So there you go.
I don't fangirl out a lot, but I totally fangirl over her.
Well, you'll love her. She's honestly such a sweet individual. I mean, when you go onto shows or movies and who's welcoming, you know
Mhm.
immediately if the show is running so smooth that usually the lead actors are really kind people.
Yeah.
But then you go on other shows or films and it's all chaos and like it starts at the top.
Yeah. I can. Yeah, that definitely that holds true for me. I've seen
Okay,
that
good.
too. Yeah, that's
Well, so I got to cast a lot of my friends in that movie,
That's awesome.
Psychophonia, because I got to come on and I said I want to cast my friends.
It's your
they,
show, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they did me a favor. We shot
Right.
it in 7 days and 3
you shot that in
locations.
7 days.
Wow.
7
Okay, so
days.
I'm gonna ask the
Oh my
technical stuff because I'm all about it.
Yeah,
So
let's ask all the
if,
technical
if you
questions.
know it all, what cams did you use? What were your lights? What were your mics?
Well, that's the thing. We had who gave us Canon gave us all of our cameras for free and all the
Oh my
lenses.
gosh.
What
Because-
what did they give you?
Oh my God, I don't remember because my husband does all that technical stuff.
Okay.
He did the Bannon Way, which
Would
they
you remember it if you heard it? Was it like the
C-
C100 or the C300?
It wouldn't be a 100. It would be a C300.
I
or
can
C700.
text him while we're talking and
The
ask what
maybe.
Psychophonia was shot
Oh,
at.
we wanna
What
know.
camera?
Maybe a
What
C700. A C100 is.
camera was?
You guys, I'm guessing you. Well, that was 2016. You made that.
I have no idea.
I think that's right, wasn't it?
My time
Maybe
frame
not
is
4K.
off.
It was just a few years ago, I think, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
it
just
was,
came out,
it
like,
was.
2 years ago.
It's not a big deal. I'm just always into whenever I watch something.
I think
the
it was
first thing I
3
think of is,
years ago.
what did they shoot this
3
with?
and a
What is
half.
the-
I
yeah.
just asked him, so he'll text me. He'll be like, "Why is she asking me that?"
What
But
is
yeah,
that?
it's beautifully. My husband,
No, it's sharp. It
he-
looked clean.
Oh,
There were a
he-
couple. There were a couple scenes I loved when.
Yeah, which one?
I really liked the one where the guy's ex-wife, the blonde, comes in
Yes.
and she's on the couch. I like that shot of her sitting, but the view of the woman standing, it's kind of the over the shoulder of her from a distance.
Yeah.
You see that a lot. I like that composition. I like the slider shot of her when she's burying the phones, and it's that if her in the garden, it's that nice kind of slider.
And that
shot.
tree, that huge.
I liked
beautiful
all the
They were
like the
just-
shots where you pushed in as you were like
Yeah.
setting the scene, where you pushed
I
in.
love
on the
those
shot was
subtle,
really nice,
easy moving
Oh, that makes
camera
me so
movement.
happy.
Camera movement is always good. Yeah, I think that was. Oh, love the shot in the beginning where he goes for the run and he's looking over the valley there, and it's the kind of that
Oh
Yeah.
that was good too. Yeah,
That was Topanga Canyon. We shot that in Topanga Canyon.
Very
Like
because
cool.
you
the
shot it
last
all
day.
in and around LA, right?
Right.
Yeah, it was it was guerrilla. Like we were like scraping
that's awesome.
together, like trying to get it done. You know, people were leaving
Yep.
town. It was right before the holiday. So
That's-
you're just like,
You know what though? Some ways that's better because it's like, I mean, when you're putting like when I'm producing a show or something at work, it's like I have all these things I do piece by piece, and I wonder sometimes, what if I just grabbed my camera and a mic and just did this instead of all these little step by step?
Well,
Where sometimes it's just
you get
faster.
an urgency, I
Right,
think,
yeah. Just do
that
it.
drives creativity.
yeah. And I think you don't like, you're like, okay, let's just try this. Let's just set this here. And that was such a beautiful moment for my husband and I, because we worked so well under pressure that we were like, oh, that's why we're going to start our production
That's
company.
good.
That's why we're like
Oh,
making
nice.
TV shows and things like that now, because
So was he your DP, your director of photography, or?
well, technically he wasn't, but I'm giving him credit for it because he really pulled through for me and,
Mhm.
you know, really set up the lighting where I wanted it, because the people we were working with didn't have enough experience as they told me they had. So there was
Yeah,
a
that can
little,
happen
like, you
too.
know,
Alright.
yeah, where, you know, that's also, if you're listening, don't overqualify yourself,
No.
because when you
Yeah.
get on set and the director asks you and you don't know, that is not a good situation to be put in.
Yeah.
No.
People would rather work with you knowing that you don't have as much experience and like give you the opportunity to learn and
Mhm.
be there for that than to think that you really know everything and then find out that you don't.
Yes. So that's a good tip. Don't inflate your resume.
We have like
Yeah.
4 or 5 life story good tips that we can use.
That
so far
holds
today.
true
This
for
is
acting
great.
too. Don't say that you played a role in something because
Well,
the person who did play it, they might know them.
Ah!
so I think
That's
that kind of
funny.
goes.
I've heard that story actually in theater in our area. Someone did that, and the
my
person who
God.
like directed it, they auditioned for them, and they were like, "So, you played this role in this production, eh? Because I directed that."
Oh my God.
And I
that's
don't
so
remember you.
embarrassing.
I would have loved to
Aw.
have heard that. That would be well.
Yeah.
Good life lessons. Basically, whatever field you're in, don't lie on your resume. That's pretty
Yeah.
much a.
How about that? How about just don't lie on your resume?
A
There we
good thing
go.
to say.
Life
what was
pro
I
tip,
gonna-
guys.
What was I going to mention about? So this movie kind of I thought it was a really cool story. The seedy underbelly of swingers, but for some reason it kind of reminded me in a way of a movie I love. What is it? 8mm. Did you ever with Nicolas Cage? You guys
I
ever
feel-
see that?
Oh.
I feel like I have, but I can't remember.
See, and
So
of
it's-
course, it made me think of Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh,
Yeah,
which
that's where I was
love.
using a lot of those references, especially when they were getting in like the
Mhm.
sexual situation. Plus, I wanted to protect my actress who, you know, was very uncomfortable with those overtly sexual
Sure.
stuff. And I didn't want to make it
Eyes-
TNA.
Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't. I mean, there was
No.
the one scene where there was a little bit, but it was
Yeah.
very
Suggestive.
very like
It's-
tasteful and just
yeah.
suggested, and
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's fine.
I thought you sort of alluded
you
to
definitely
it
didn't
very
go-
nicely without like,
Hey.
yeah,
You definitely didn't go eyes wide shut style because at that house during the party that was a little much, but I love that movie. Oh my God, I love that movie. But yeah, no, I thought that was tastefully done. But yeah, it reminded me of 8mm in a way because
Mhm.
he's a detective. That's a different kind of story, but he's looking for like a snuff film and he finds this, dirty underworld of what goes on in these videos. But
yeah.
it reminded me of that story. So I like that. That was
Oh.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you guys had so many ideas that were so interesting and different than what you see in big Hollywood films, because they
Yeah.
would never like get made.
They wouldn't
Yeah.
touch that subject.
Like-
it would be like taboo or
But
something.
yeah, like they
almost.
just wouldn't,
Right.
because they would be like,
Yeah.
oh, somebody wants to see that. But then you've got these interesting things. And that's one of the things I love about indie horror films is that you can take on these more interesting subjects and you've got the the swinger club, but then you've also got the guy who's studying people calling from beyond the grave.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
it's like to mix those two together and sort of marry them.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Oh,
It
and
just
that-
made for such an interesting like storyline weaving through that.
And it
Yeah, and
kind
I
of
want
then-
it to be like beautifully shot. So it was
Mm.
almost juxtaposition of what the story was. So it's like these beautiful lit
Yeah.
scenes instead of like the
Mhm.
gritty, normal kind of indie, you know, the horror situation.
Right. So that
Just
makes
wanted to
sense.
make
So
it-
it's like all this stuff is happening in like a nice, normal, clean world. but
Yeah,
right,
this
exactly.
right.
This
Reality.
exists with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're in your modern life, and it's viewed that way. But yeah, it's all this stuff. And I guess it kind of reminded me too of, you guys maybe never seen it. It wasn't very good. A movie called White Noise that came out a long time ago. Michael Keaton was in it.
I
Right.
actually
Okay.
started watching that and I couldn't
Okay.
finish it. Like I think I turned it off.
I never saw it.
His wife dies, and he starts then I guess trying to hear recordings. Like I kind of
Yeah,
got
I
that vibe from it
yeah.
as well. Yeah, right. So
I looked
didn't-
at it, but I turned it off. It was
Yeah,
I was like,
it's
this is
nothing-
kind of putting me to sleep.
It's nothing. It's nothing amazing, but it just kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
So let me see. Let me ask you. So I noticed that some of the themes in Psychophonia seemed like they might be related to the novel that you've got coming out.
I mean,
I was going to ask if
of.
there's anything to that, but you weren't the creator of it. So maybe that was just a happy.
Coincidence?
Happy accident.
You know, I think when I think of Psychophonia, I don't ever really think about the swingers aspect.
Mhm.
So when I think of that movie, I just think of like the great acting and how it's beautifully shot. So technically they weren't together, but it definitely leads into my other half of my world in my real life that I just started opening up about. And I wrote a book about, and it's coming out February 12th for Valentine's Day weekend. It's called Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict.
So
Okay.
tell us a little bit about your book. What can you
Yeah.
tell us about it?
Well, it's based on my life. It's a fiction. It's a novel. It's a Roma Clef fiction that is based on my life. But I took inspiration from stories I've heard, dreams I've had, and I just created this character, Roxanne, who her name is from the Police song. Roxanne.
Good song.
You don't have to put on the red light. Yeah.
red light.
Good song.
Such a good
Yeah.
song.
Well,
Good
yeah,
song.
when I was trying to think, like, first, because it was a memoir, I was writing it and it was a memoir, and I realized a lot of people could probably sue me. And the second thing I realized is I want to protect the people in my life. So all the names are changed. You'll never know who I'm talking about. So they have names like Cool Girl and Superstar and
Mhm.
Glam Girl and all these different names, and you'll never know who it is. So it's definitely like a memoir, also self-help book. It's like the 10 rules Roxanne figures out where she can get through this first year of her addiction, letting go of her addiction and getting on the other side. So it's this journey of her first year and the 10 rules she lives by now.
So
Okay.
and so does this play into, I know you have a podcast of your own as well.
Yeah.
Is that what
Secret
your
Life.
podcast is about as well then? Or is it
So it kind of all came organically. I wrote the book in 45 days, the first draft I've been rewriting, but
Right.
my husband really forced me. He's like, will you write, take this writing class? And I'm like, I am not interested. I'm an actress. That's all I am, and a director. And I don't want to be a writer.
Nah, that goes with it. You got to do all those things.
I know. Well, he kept
Yeah.
pestering me, and he's like, come on, just take it. You don't have to tell anybody. Just take this class. And I did. And it poured out of me.
You're right.
And
It's good.
after that, I've had a lot of interest in it becoming a television show. And so I wrote this article for HuffPost about being in Hollywood. I just got my 10 years in recovery in the program myself. And I just had this calling to be of service to other people. And so I wrote this article in HuffPost. And I can't tell you the responses I got, like
Wow.
people reaching out saying my wife is like this, my girlfriend, or I'm like this, men and women.
Yeah.
And I woke up during the pandemic. I think it was in June. I woke up and I had this thought at 3 a.m. like, Secret Life podcast, giving other people a chance to share their secrets, the things they've been holding, the shame, the situations they've been going through. and they could change their name. A lot of people are anonymous. Some people are well known. And we have people like one of my first ones I recorded was a girl tried to commit suicide and shot herself in the chest with a shotgun, and she survived. Then I've had emotional incest, a lot of eating disorders, men and women, molestations, rapes, sexual assault. I mean, the list goes on and on. People call in and tell me their secrets. And then I have funny ones like addicted to reality television, steals from Jeff Bezos at Whole Foods, funny hack stories that you lied about falling off at Disneyland, like all these lies and secrets. And it's just been such a beautiful experience to give people a platform to let go of their shame.
Yeah, that sounds like it must be very cathartic.
It's amazing.
It's good
to
for
be
you
able to say that without the fear of retribution
or judgment,
or judgment. Yeah, because you're saying it just out there.
Yeah.
There's so many, there are just the amount of people that have stuff like that want to talk is like astronomical number, but they don't know what to do. And, you being able to do that, one, the strength for you to do it, good job. And then being able to let those other people come into your world and do that is you're helping you and you're helping them. And that's like, I mean, it's just like therapy. I mean, it's huge. It
is. Every time I record with somebody, it's such a beautiful moment and a connection, especially when I don't know them. And I actually don't see a lot of them. I have no idea what their real name is most of the time.
You're like a priest in a convention.
Oh my gosh, totally.
I think because I was willing to share all my dirt and say, this is who I am. This does not define me as a person.
They feel comfortable talking to you now because of that.
Yeah, I feel like that's so important, particularly with mental health and with substance use disorders. Like I have anxiety with OCD and I've talked about it for many years. I just tell people it comes up and I say it because I made a point to never make it a secret.
Yeah.
So that other people would feel like it didn't have to be a secret for them.
It'll be worse.
Exactly.
It'll just get worse that way. Yeah.
Well, for me, for my program and doing 12-step program, it's like secrets kill us. And so if I can help the listener who is not ready to share their secret, if my guest can help the listener, I'm doing my job. Like I said, if I help one person, then I've done something good that day because the whole point of the 12 steps is to be of service to other people. So definitely during this pandemic time and the world has been chaotic, to be of service is like, it's gold.
Yep.
So secrets kill us. Matt, you'll recognize this. It could almost be the tagline to my short film, The Lake, that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It's about family, dark family secrets and things. But
drown your secrets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Drown your secrets is the tagline.
Oh, good. I love it. So I'm really excited about the book. I can't believe it's coming out. It makes me so nervous, but it's like, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there and really people are loving it. And I'm just really grateful.
That's awesome. I know we talked about this a little bit. Do you have a little snippet you want to share with us?
Oh yeah, I do. You guys are the first people I'm reading it to. And
so
here's
excited.
Like the prototype.
Oh, look at it. Oh, if you're on the in YouTube, you can see the book, guys.
Yeah, look.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, yeah. So this is the one about a horror movie. So you'll never
we're all gonna get signed copies of this, obviously, right?
Oh, obviously. Everybody listening. All 5 people, you said.
All 5 of you guys.
Okay, here we go. So this is in chapter 1. So I can't tell you what happens before, but you'll kind of get the gist. All right. So I first met NYC on a movie. We were shooting on location in Kansas City, Kansas. The perfect setting for acting out, I might add. ATL came to visit me on the first weekend I was working. We all went bowling together with the cast and crew. Nothing much else to do in that town. We were shooting a cheesy horror movie in the freezing snow. NYC was the muscle-ripped psycho killer, and I was the many victims he mutilates. Romantic much? I banked my career on playing that sexy, naive character who walks by herself in a woods calling for a missing boyfriend. You know, the one you want to yell at the screen with frustration. Who would be by themselves, you idiot girl? Not to mention exasperately hollering. Why would she be wearing a crop top miniskirt in the middle of the woods in the dead of a winter snow? Then the monster comes out of the shadows and kills my character. Yep, that was me. Don't judge. I bought my house with those paychecks, enjoyed my time choosing my next sexual prey on those sets. And on that movie shoot, ATL was in town and NYC was my new target. NYC and I had our first kiss on camera in the icy cold woods with 10 crew members standing around watching, freezing their butts off while we rolled around in the fallen leaves. I wanted him. He was a damn good kisser, moving his hips perfectly to almost give me a fully clothed orgasm. But here was the kicker. We were gyrating around in poison fucking ivy. Yep, I ended up with itchy red welts all over my ass and thigh. Not exactly the best ending to a month-long shoot, but maybe it was a huge foreshadowing of the pain I was going to cause myself later.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
That was getting steamy until the point.
Poison ivy, right?
It gets steamy. I had other things, but I was like, I'm not gonna read those on camera. That makes me
and we need to hear the horror movie set one.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
there's a couple other ones, but yeah.
So this
Go
is now our second author on the show. Now this is great, and we just had our first story time. I thought that was
had our first reading.
I love it. Thank you.
I'm so excited. Yeah, thank you so much for reading that for us.
Great.
So, so I have a few other questions I just want to ask you in general. So now that we've talked about all these different horror films you've worked on, and different ways in which you've worked on them, what would you say your experience is as a woman working in horror, like especially as a director?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And is there a difference? I guess how big of the difference is the acting towards the directing?
Oh, that too.
Oh, that's a good question too. Okay, the first question. Well, I think when I first started, because I did a lot of horrors when I first started also, I think now you're treated much better than you were like 15 years ago. And more women are directing horror films, and it's been so awesome because you know if you go on, you're going to be protected. Before, when I started, you would be put in situations like rolling around on poison ivy. The location manager didn't figure out that there was poison ivy in that part of the woods. Like, you weren't taking it. Was like,
so that part actually happened.
Yes. There's a lot in here that happens, but I can't tell you which one. You'll have to guess for yourself. But yeah, so I felt at the beginning you weren't taken care of as a woman, and recently, the past 5 years, I feel like we're much more taken care of, and not just used as, like I said, that sexy girl running in the woods in the miniskirt where you're like, really? Like, that's what she'd be doing?
Yes.
So that, I hope, answers that question. And the other question, I feel like now as a director, and especially in horror, that you take care of your actors more than it was a long time ago. And I think, not saying anything's bad with men out there, but women directors seem to take care of the women more. Yeah. Hopefully that's changed for other people, but it's just important, like, we inclusive and we take care of every gender.
Yeah, I think that movies, and horror movies in particular, are going a little bit more away from the woman just as a
sexual object. She might as well just say it.
Yeah, just as a sexual object that we can then enjoy seeing be murdered. Like,
yeah, like, how many women do you need to see murdered? Come on, people. Let's murder some men.
Well,
right?
Yeah, with their pants off.
The indie horror film I was in, Women's Studies, that's what we murdered, a lot of men.
Oh my God, I love it.
I mean, I can think of a couple just off the top of my head, scary movies by women. I mean, look at American Psycho, where the subject of that is very awful towards women, directed by a woman. And she directs those scenes where he's killing women with chainsaws and
I know
having
but
threesomes.
That was a long time ago. I feel like it's just changing now. I feel like our environment is changing and you're getting more creative. Yes, I agree. And I love American Psycho. I know that's terrible.
It's a very good movie.
It's so good. It's so good. And it's
read the book if you haven't read the book.
I have.
Oh, then you know all the awful stuff that isn't in the movie then.
My husband said there were a few parts he just skipped. Like, he was like, I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit.
All I'm gonna say,
this is bad.
Brianne will understand this. gerbils and a pumpkin outside of the apartment. That's all I'm going to say.
No.
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't want to know. I don't wanna
it's something you're like, never mind.
Nope.
It's kind of
I'm
nasty
okay.
stuff. But yeah, and then also, what's her face? Did both Pet Cemeteries. I mean, those aren't necessarily, tropes, women and things like that. But
Yeah.
the fact is, they're well known for a reason that's unfortunate in the fact that it's because they're women that made these movies. They shouldn't be known for just because they're a woman doing it. They should be,
Right.
lauded for the work they did. But unfortunately, the level of that, the amount of them isn't enough. So.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like the world is opening up now, especially in the horror world where women are, included to direct, and it's not as big of a like, oh, she directed it now.
Right.
I'm feeling that. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
it's
you
not
guys
as
are.
much of a it's a woman director
Right.
instead of just
Like, that
this
shouldn't
person
be-
directed it. And
It shouldn't be a it shouldn't be a gimmick. It shouldn't be a reason you watch it. Oh, a woman made it, so I'm going to watch this. Like it has any fucking difference. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
exactly.
I agree.
Right.
We're all in agreement here, and hopefully you are too listening.
Yeah.
Oh, he told me
Yes.
what the camera was.
Okay.
The Canon Canon C300.
Yeah. C300.
I was right.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that.
Good. That camera is amazing.
That's a very good camera.
It was beautiful.
I have a C
And they gave you some
series.
good lenses for it too.
Oh
and-
yeah. Oh yeah. And we
I've
got
got
two of them for free.
Now who gave you your audio?
Oh, I don't remember who the audio person was because they showed up with no headphones or anything. So that was a fun situation on the first
Well,
day.
you know
Oh
what?
my gosh.
Obviously, you worked through it, so that's okay.
We did. We worked through it. It was that I will say
Yeah.
that movie was grueling. I think I lost 3 years of my life on that movie.
That's a lot.
But it was.
a
My
lot.
husband and I afterwards were like, oh my God, I think I just aged 5
No,
years.
I believe it, but you know what? That's that's part of how that goes, I guess. Yeah, that's
You lesson learned, you hire people that you like
Yeah.
I said, don't
Yeah.
say you can do something when you can't do it.
Yep.
Well, and another one, if we're giving tips, I'll give this one.
It's a show about tips today.
I would rather have the person who's pretty good at what they do and has a fantastic attitude.
Oh
than
yeah.
The person who's amazing at what they do and has a shit attitude.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. Get rid of that person. Me too. 100%.
Every time I would take the person with a little bit less experience, like
Oh,
someone
yeah.
who still knows what they're doing, but maybe doesn't know as much.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth it to work with
Mm-mm.
people who are a pain in the ass, no matter how good they are.
No, and I've
Not
had
worth
that
it.
experience on the actor side and on the crew side where if someone if you're listening out there and you want to get into the movie world, if someone's even the tiny bit difficult, you will not work with them again. Even if they're a
Yeah.
friend, you just, when you're making a movie, especially in the indie world, especially in the horror world, it's so everything moves so fast that you don't have time for any drama. And if anybody creates it, they're
Yeah.
done.
This
It is
isn't-
not because you hate them. It's just you just don't have the energy to even deal with
This
it.
isn't
Yeah.
yes, government job where no one gets fired and you work, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
This is something you choose, you really, really want to do. Yeah, and you can't have that negative energy. Like you can't have that, right?
No,
And
not
it
at all.
gets around, like, because
Oh, yeah.
it's no matter, even I'm sure it's the same way in LA. Like DC is a smaller area, but like I'm sure even in LA, it's still like a small world.
Oh,
where,
yeah,
like a
you all
lot
work
of people
together.
know each other. Yeah,
Sure.
you're all like circling in the same sort of places and the same sort of people. And people will hear if you are unpleasant.
Difficult. Yeah,
I
even
bet.
just a little bit. Even if you people just don't have time for it here.
Yeah.
So if you're
But
coming,
people will also hear if you're fantastic to work with and a dream.
yeah.
So
Like-
that famous line, you'll never work in this town again, is true, I guess, right?
It can be, yeah. Unless you're like one of the top dogs and you're difficult, then
Different story.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But you gotta like already be kind of a top dog.
Yeah,
like,
no, you have to be at the top. Like you
Yeah.
have to be at the tippy top.
or have
So,
family who's top dogs.
Some
no, I don't know. Some people I know
Some
have gotten
nepotism or something,
blacklisted.
or-
No, and some of
Really?
them have got blacklisted even with the family because it's like I
Wow.
don't want to deal
Yeah.
with that guy's cousin, like
No, I
so.
can't blame
It's
them.
just you have to be a team player. You have to like show up and do your job and have a good attitude. And I think
Yeah.
if you do that, then you can have a career in this business.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yep.
And you're doing it. I mean, you're
doing it.
You're doing it. You're amazing.
Thank you.
So let me ask you one last question.
Mhm.
What's your favorite horror movie?
Okay, you guys asked.
I can't answer this, and I try when we talked about Halloween. 'Cause it's one
Or-
of my
or, like,
favorites.
one of your
but I
favorites.
couldn't.
or
But I
one
could
of your
not nail
favorites.
down like a favorite. It was too hard for me.
It's old school. It's an old school movie. It's Jaws. Like I am obsessed with Jaws. I've been watching it since I was 5 years old.
Can you repeat the
That's
whole
so
line from
good.
Quint when he's talking about the USS Indianapolis?
Oh yeah, when I'm watching it, I can literally say that whole dialogue, and my husband gets so annoyed with me when
And
I
you
watch
talking
it.
his
That's
voice like
so
Robert Shaw
cool.
too?
No, I don't do that. And then I
Ah,
sing
okay.
this song, you know what they sing when they're drunk, and I just
Old
literally
ladies
say
in
it every
Spain.
day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
Oh my gosh.
if that movie is on television, I will just put it on in the background and
It's
listen.
I mean,
Well,
it's a very good movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
It's
So
pretty
yeah,
good.
that's my favorite if I was gonna choose.
Aw.
Yeah.
There's Jaws right there, by the way.
Yay.
Yeah, we're definitely going to
Hanging
review that before too
On the
long.
wall. So Jaws. Okay, yeah, Jaws is amazing. Now the sequels are something left to be desired.
I watch those too if they're on. Tell you the truth. I would have
Really?
put number 4. You know, they go down to the Bahamas or something. That makes no sense because those sharks would not be in warm water.
And the one in 3D that is so bad. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, number 3 where it's at the park.
Dennis Quaid, right? And then-
Yeah.
yes.
Good.
Oh my god. Jaws. Okay, that is it.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what?
like it.
I can't imagine being of an age because I wasn't even around when Jaws was made, but I can't imagine being like an 18-year-old, like a 25-year-old kid or something, and going to see that movie, like because the effect like it had. No one had ever
yeah.
seen that, and seeing her get attacked like that. Like I remember when I sort of saw it when I was a kid, of course, but like it was already been out. People had already seen it. I just wonder what it would have been like to see it in the theater when it was released. That would have been crazy. Oh man. Ooh.
Yeah,
She broke her ribs in that too because they
She
were
did?
pulling her with a rope.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, they were underwater pulling her with
Yeah.
a rope, so she was like,
Yeah, she's getting
doing
yanked
that.
around. Yes.
Oh my gosh. I didn't watch horror movies when I was younger. I only started watching them like
I
10
love
years
horror
ago.
movies.
I love them now. I only started watching them like 10 or 15 years ago.
My husband
but-
hates them, by the way, you
Nah.
guys.
Oh,
Like we've made,
but
we've
he's
made,
making them with you.
yeah, we made 3 of them, and he hates them. He will
Wow.
not watch any horror movie with me. He gets scared. He literally paces. Oh, and one more that I love that he hates.
Oh.
He watched it with me, and he was like, oh, "Why? I can't watch this. I can't watch this." But the Strangers. with
I have
Liv
not seen
Tyler.
that.
Oh my!
I haven't
Scott
seen it
Speedman.
either.
They made a
That
sequel too,
one-
I think.
That one actually scared
Yeah, it
me
looks-
All right, we have
looks
to
scary.
put that on our list. I
Yeah,
haven't
now I
seen
want to
that
see
one
it.
either.
Yeah.
because it could actually happen.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
that's
They have the
they
sacks on their
break in,
heads and they
right?
break into someone's right. I'm not gonna say any more than that. That's all I know about it.
Like
Yeah,
you will
I
be
wanna
like
see it.
talking to the screen, being like, "No, don't go, don't do that, don't." And my husband, when we were watching
Oh.
it, he would get up and like pace the room while watching. He's like, "I just can't. I don't think I can. I can't watch this." It was so funny. It was,
Yeah,
but
I
love
don't
that
do
movie.
as well with ones where they're like, this could actually just straight up be real life. Like,
Yeah.
those ones are worse for me.
I
Yeah.
remember
You
I
need to
love
watch it then. Watch it and let me know.
I always there's a story I tell. I remember going to I think we went to go see one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes years ago.
Mhm.
And a couple of us went, and a friend of mine went, and I knew she was going to get scared. And I said, I don't even know why you're coming. No, I'll be fine. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. All right, fine. We're like 5 minutes into the movie, and I just look over and I start to see this, and I knew I shouldn't have come. This is a bad idea. I said, I told you to not come to this. But, people think, that thing, Tara, I was showing you the other day, horror movies for therapy. Watching scary movies
yeah.
for like anxiety and for like actual for therapy. I saw an article on National Geographic saying they don't like prove this, but there are people out there in the psychiatric field that think they can suggest go watch some scary movies to help with your anxiety or your panic attacks because it's a release. Fear is just you're getting your fear
I think
out.
it's because when you have anxiety, like
Right.
a lot of times you don't it's not coming from anything. It's
Mm.
coming from your brain. It's just making
it up,
right?
yes.
And so this is at least my theory as someone with anxiety. I'm a psychiatrist now.
Yes, tell us.
Please.
No, I'm not. But this is my theory. Like, because you have that anxiety and you have nowhere that it's coming from, you can't like do anything with it. You can't like get rid of it. And so I think that's why people start having like ideations where you start thinking about scary things, and when it starts going
Like,
into
it's
like
to
OCD
release that energy.
it's like you
good
have
for
to
you.
have a reason for it. You're making up reasons for it. But if you watch a horror movie, it's giving you the reasons for that anxiety, and there's that like up and down and up and down, and at the end nothing happened and you're okay. You just watched a scary movie.
Feel better.
Right. Okay, I understand. I get what you mean. Totally.
I think I can definitely see how that could help.
I think so.
Yeah, I can definitely see how that could work. God, we've run the gamut here today.
Yeah, it's been all over the place.
Yeah.
So let me ask you last thing. Is there anything else you want to share that's coming up for you that we should be looking for you for? Or give us one more plug for where we can get your book.
Well, my book will be available on Amazon worldwide, and it's really exciting. It comes out November 12th again. It's Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict. I have
November 12th?
Oh, February 12th. Oh my
12th.
God.
Okay.
Thank you.
But you can read it on November 12th next year if you want to.
You can if you want. You can get it.
Still
and
read
then
it then
on
too.
Right. That's right. So that's okay.
February 12th, Valentine's weekend, because I hate Valentine's Day, and so does Roxanne.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I have Secret Life podcast. You can listen to it anywhere. You can listen to podcasts. Movie Dead Water just came out.
Okay.
That's another kind of horror thriller movie.
Ooh.
And I just got done with Lucifer. And then,
I haven't seen it.
I'm just hitting the pavement like every other actress, during a pandemic.
Yeah. So
Keep going.
guys, look for Brianne everywhere.
Everywhere
and
you
will
go.
find her.
Grocery stores, libraries.
Yeah,
everywhere.
just like walk around and holler.
Brianne?
Hey, Brianne.
Yeah.
Hey, Brianna. Hey, Brianna.
Are you here?
Oh my God, that's so funny. No, I'm not everywhere, but yes, please come and listen to Secret Life. It is such a great podcast. If you're struggling, it will help you not feel alone.
Definitely.
So-
and it sounds like it would be interesting, even if you don't have something you're struggling with. It would be a lot. You could learn a lot from it.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I have people that aren't going through anything and love it and send things like, thank you so much, or I understand what my daughter's going through, or my husband's going
Or your
through, or
friend or
my
something.
parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just being of service. And again, the book's just to be of service to other people and not feel so alone. And it's really fun. And you'll learn a lot of gossip about Hollywood in Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict. So if you just want a fun read
Right.
and to go on the ride, you will get that too.
That's definitely
Good.
another good reason to read it too. So let's see. We can find the book, Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and
Amazon.
Love Addict, on Amazon starting on
Yes.
February 12th.
Yes.
We can find Brianne also on her podcast, Secret Life,
Yes.
and Dead Water, which just came out.
Yes. And I think
And-
it's on Showtime.
Oh,
I think
it's on
Showtime.
Showtime.
And you can get it on Hulu. And then
Okay.
6 on History just came out on Hulu. So you can watch season 1 and season 2.
Oh, I have to watch 6. Is that
So
still
good.
running?
No, we got canceled. So
Oh.
sad.
But 2 seasons.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have 2
Okay, I have to watch
seasons.
that too.
And they're on Hulu now. And then Lucifer just came out, which is, on Netflix. And that was such a fun part to play. So Detective
That's
Dancer. So
Detective Dancer.
yeah.
Is that like one of the Santa's reindeer?
I was going to say, it's an interesting,
No.
interesting
I-
name.
It is an interesting name, but
I'm like
she's
Detective
really
Dancer,
fun.
Detective Prancer.
Right.
No, she's just a really fun. She's like 5 characters in one. Was really fascinating. to
Oh,
play.
sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are where you can find Brianne. And we'll put your IMDb on the show notes so that people can see what else you're in, that they can come and watch, that they can go and watch you in.
Thank you.
And for us guys, you can rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you're listening so more people can find us. Please, we appreciate it very much. And don't forget to send us your movie suggestions, your thoughts on movies we've watched, whatever else you want to tell us about, to thescarymovieproject@gmail.com. And you can follow us on Facebook and now on Instagram.
Ooh.
Both of those are at
That-
The Scary Movie Project.
That newfangled Instagram that all the kids use.
That newfangled, yeah, it's not even like the kids anymore. It's like
Nah, I
the
just like-
30 somethings
I just like
now.
saying
But
that,
it's not even where the kids are anymore. We oldies are getting on
right.
Instagram, guys. Watch out. So thanks for being here, Brianne. We really love talking with you.
I have two more quick things that I wanted to say at the very end. That two trivia moments, not trivia, but sort of. All right. So in Prom Night, the guy that works at the hotel that what's his face kills and he finds in the ceiling. Remember, that's Josh from the Blair Witch Project.
Mm-hmm.
And the other trivia part, which maybe you didn't notice, only someone as much insanity as I have for the movie Halloween would notice. When they are in the salon, they're getting their hair done before they go. When she looks out the window and sees the guy standing across the street, he is standing in front of the Myers house in Pasadena.
Look at that.
No
I know
way.
Josh
I
too.
didn't know
Josh
that.
is a great guy.
Yep.
My
So
husband's really good
I
friends
instantly,
with Josh.
because I'm just obsessed with that movie, I saw it and I thought, oh, hold on. And then I rewound it and then I looked it up and I said, that is the Myers house. That has to be it. So those are the two
There you
little things
go.
that I
Guys,
take
we're
away
leaving you with a
from that.
couple little extra tidbits there.
Two little things I take away from that movie. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I thought that was I love
Very
little
cool.
Easter eggs that people put in stuff like that. I thought that was great.
That's so cool.
Yep.
Well, again, thank you, Brianne.
Yes,
And
thank you.
we'll have to have you on again sometime.
Yes.
Maybe when we watch The Strangers or Jaws, since they're your
Ooh.
favorites.
Yeah.
Maybe you can come on and talk about them with us.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Especially the strangers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared to watch them.
Go watch it.
Sure, you'll be fine.
All right. Bye, everybody.
The Scary Movie Project podcast is produced by Tara Garwood and Matt Lolich. Learn more at thescarymovieproject.com.